welcome to another episode of ICs You Need to Know. Today I'm going to show you two integrated circuits, just because they are so similar and easy. Yeah, most of you have probably worked or heard of logic gates before. For those of you, this is just a little refresh of what you already know, but for those of you that haven't heard those names before, I think this is going to be some interesting stuff for you. So generally all digital electronics is built off different gates. Yeah. Today I'm going to show you a AND gate and a OR gate, and it's the CD 4073 and 4072, as you can see on these papers here. So an AND gate kind of says in the name, it's AND, and here I have three different wires, so I have three inputs, and they are all going to the gate, and we have one output, as you can see here. So AND actually means that all of the input needs to be high to get a high output, so that's the AND. So similarly, you can just put three switches behind each other, and all of these switches needs to be closed to get 5 volts from here to here. Quite simple stuff, really, and yeah, that's all there is to it. And the good things about these is that you get them in for example 2 switches, or you can get them in 3, and I even think you can get them in more. So it's just up to you how many you'd like, actually. And you can also put several. Let's say you have a 3 port AND gate, and you need a let's say 8. You can just put these 3 besides each other, have a 3 input AND gate in the end. Actually, that's quite interesting. So I'm gonna have to go a little bit off here to show you this. You want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? So all these inputs needs to be high to get a high output. I will actually change your view for you, so you can see this. So you want all of these high to get a high output. So actually what you would do here is that you would take, for example, 3 gates. You put one here like that. So now all of these needs to be high to get that high. You put another one here like that. So all of these needs to be high to get a high output here, and then you have a last one, but here you only have 2 signals. So what you would do with the last one, which is just let's call it an X, you can just put that to high from the start. Just hard wire it to 5 volts. So you don't have to think about this. So now you have 3 different high inputs. Then you just connect another one of those. As you can see here, all of these needs to be high. All of these 3 needs to be high to get that high. But all of these 3 needs to be high to get that high. So it's quite interesting little setup there, actually. So yeah, enough about that. Back to the real stuff. So a typical application for something like this is, for example, a interior light in your car. So both the door needs to be open, so that's an inverted signal, for example, and the light switch in the roof must be on. So that's an example of where you maybe find an sort of an AND gate, but actually it's just a couple of switches wired each in series to each other. So yeah, I think my power supply is off. No, it's actually on. So as you can see here, I've actually wired 2 of the cables to high here, but as I said, all 3 needs to be high to get a high output. So as you can see there, the green LED went on, and if I even just pull one of these out, the LED will go out. Same with this one. So all inputs needs to be high to get a high output. And I have some pull down resistors here, so yeah, just to get the floating signal pulled down to ground. And yeah, that's all there is to it. Hope you learned something, and this is actually a nice thing to know. So moving on here, as I said, we have 2 circuits that we're looking at today. The next one we have here is the 4072, and it is a OR gate. And as you might have figured all already, OR means that input or that input. And in this case, I have actually a quad input. So I have 4 inputs here, which goes to like this. Most of these gates have the same signal, like that. So if that's high, that's high. If that's high, that's high, and on it goes. So as long as one of these are high, you get a high output. So for example, or I'm going to show you this with switches. So earlier we saw that we have switches wired in serial, but on the OR gate we have actually switches. Sorry, let's see here. We have switches wired in parallel. So as you can see now, as long as we close one of these switches, we'll get a high output on the logic gate here. So yeah, that's all there is to it. And as you can see here, all of the wires is floating around, but I have pull down resistors here as well. So if I just put one of these high, I will get a high output. Can pull that out and put a high here, and on we go. So as long as one of these are high, you get a high input. And if I put all of these in, I still have a high output, but I need to take all of them out again to get a low input, or a low output, sorry. Yeah, now you have a basic understanding of the differences between a AND gate and a OR gate, and you can build some interesting stuff with this. One example, in school we had a project where we were supposed to build a circuit where we had an alarm that was supposed to sound if we didn't wear our seatbelt. So we had to put one switch in the seatbelt and one in the seat where the passenger would sit, and both of those switches need to give a signal to get a high signal to the alarm relay. And a lot of more stuff we did there, actually quite fun. So if you have the time and want to learn more about these, grab yourself a kit on eBay, the 4000 series or something similar, and just play with it. So again, thanks for watching another video. I have actually a couple more videos in this series. I think this is the 8th video, so hopefully have 2 videos out sooner or later. So thanks for tuning in, and see you.